The number one way to inspire change in someone's life is by sharing your story. Imagine if your story was the one in a million that someone desperately needs to hear. I'm Devin Schubert, and I'm on a mission to share 1 million stories across social media. And I want your story. It's time to take your story to the stage. And now, here's one of those stories.
Hi, my name is Gorniak, and I live in Manville, Alberta, Canada. I'm married to a wonderful man, Dwayne, and we have 4 kids. The first 3 are from Dwayne's first marriage, and the 4th one is ours. Shaylin, Royce, Autumn, and Lindsay. My husband and I own our own mobile tool business, and I also work for the government of Alberta. God has placed education, children, and elderly upon my heart, as my compassion for those 3 things are very strong, especially education. Before I get into all of that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am the 5th child out of 6 and the 4th girl in the family. We lost our dad when I was 4, and my mom was a single parent with 6 children. The beginning was a bit rough as my mom hid her sorrow and soothed her pain with alcohol. Shortly after my dad's passing, we moved closer to family. My Baba, my mom's mom, my Auntie Kay, my mom's oldest sister, and my Aunt Jean, my mom's youngest sister. That's when some of the things started with me. I've been physically, emotionally, verbally, mentally, and sexually abused. Some of these things still exist in my life only because the world we live in is broken. I was 4 when the words, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you," were whispered in my ear, and an uncle who started the sexual abuse. My Baba babysat me and my younger brother so my mom could go to work. Every visit to my Baba's house made my heart beat just a little faster because I wasn't sure if he would be there. I started to eat more, hoping that by still eating, my Baba wouldn't make me have a nap with my uncle. But most of the time, he was there. The relief didn't come until I started school. It didn't take long, and my mom met a man named Dennis. In the beginning, he seemed to be a nice guy, but the day he moved in was the day that Satan moved in also. The physical abuse was torture. Not only did we get a good one for doing something wrong, but even if we didn't, my sister and I, we took the brunt of it all. We couldn't walk right, eat, or breathe properly. We became slaves in our own home, and we were not allowed to have holidays, go to the lake, or do anything with the family. There were days we had big goose eggs on our heads because Dennis's favorite thing to do was to bang our heads together every time something went wrong. We would need permission slips from my mom so that we couldn't partake in gym because of the welts that we had on our legs, the bruises that we had on our backs. My oldest sister took part in all of this when she was at home, and even after she got married. She couldn't say enough to get my sister and I into trouble. She too, before she left home, sexually abused, physically abused, mentally and verbally, and emotionally abused us. She would say if we told Mom that what had transpired or what had happened, that she would tell Mom that we enjoyed it and that we asked her to do it. I was sexually abused by 2 uncles, 2 cousins, and 2 of my sisters. This was an ongoing thing until I turned 18 and left home. It's funny when you think about it, how we attract to ourselves what was done wrong to us. We know it's wrong, yet we keep ourselves wrapped up in it because we think it's normal. I was 42 when I found out I shouldn't be alive, but because I was, the doctor told me I should be totally disabled because of the injuries that I had sustained, but I should really not be here. Wow, I should be dead. I was letting that sink in. I didn't want to, but I did. Why am I still here? What was it that made me still be here? What kept me alive? Who saved me from this death? If I was so bad and dirty when I was younger, then who saved me? Well, some of those nice traits I carried in me for a very long time. I'm very blessed to still be married and have a son who loved me unconditionally. It took me a while to realize that I was the only one who could break that vicious cycle, but I didn't know how. How could I get rid of all of that was in me? Why do I want to tear the wall down? It's my protection. I can control it. I can let in and kick out whoever I want. Or could I? Is it a wall? Or is it a facade to keep me from showing who I really am? Dirty, shameful, disgraceful, ugly, unwanted, unloved, unaccepting. That's what the wall was there for. That's what it was purpose. One weekend, my family and I, we went to my aunt's in Edmonton. And just out of the blue, she asked who wanted to go to church. I instantly said, oh, I will. And after I said it, I was like, where on God's green earth did that come from? I was asking myself that all the way to church. I haven't been in church since I was little. The service with worship that started, I don't know what it was. It just came over me, and I started weeping and crying. Weeping and crying. I think I went through at least 3 boxes of Kleenex each service. That happened every Sunday for almost 3 years. There's still the odd Sunday it happens. Okay, maybe more than just the odd Sunday that it happens. It didn't take long after that I let my real dad back into my life. Not because he didn't want to be back in my life, but because I finally reached out to him and he called me back to him. And I said yes to having him back in my life. He's been teaching me a lot of different things, but most of all, he has showed me who I am and that I'm beautiful, I am loved, I'm cherished, I'm blessed, I'm forgiven, redeemed, and worthy. There is the odd time I tend to stray, but when I hear him calling me, it is beautiful. Since he has been back in my life, the conversations we have are absolutely amazing and priceless. Like the one time he helped me out with our finances. Wow, go figure that he would go through that one. Or the time he told me about when I first cried out to him and he was there. Are you wondering why I didn't reach out to him when all these things were happening to me in my life? Where he was while all of these things were going on? Remember, I had a wall. And I was controlling who I could let in and who I could keep out. And sometimes we need to be at our lowest point before we reach out for help. However, many times have we heard, if you ever need help, you should just have called, or you should come to us sooner and we would have helped you. I know those sayings all too well. And the one answer I got when I did tell was, what did you do to provoke it? Now I am where I am. I'm still married, yes, to the same guy. My son loves me more and better now than before. He used to say things to me like, I didn't like who you were before, but I do now. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and I'm working on it. For now, let me tell you about some of these stories. I'll do that at my first conference. Love, love, love to do things like that. My dad loves to do things like that too. I'll talk to you all later.